All right, what's up, everybody? Back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to talk about NBA Summer League. It just wrapped up a few days ago. The Cavaliers won the Summer League championship. And today, I'm going to be going through every team. They're talking about every team's standout of the Summer League season. Well, yeah, Summer League, this year's Summer League. A lot of good performances, a lot of names that kind of popped up out of nowhere and played pretty well. We're going to go through every team's guy that I thought was their standout. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really helps out a lot. Look at the analytics. A little bit less than 1% of you that actually watch the videos are subscribed. So, if you like the content around here, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it a whole lot. Also, tomorrow, I'm uploading a video. It's going to be an experiment type of video. So, leave the feedback in the comments below for tomorrow's video. Yeah, that won't waste any more time. Let's get right to it. So before we start listing the players for every team, I just want to say these standouts, not every player is going to be the best player on their team. Like, I tried my most not to include, like, second-year players. Like, Jabari Smith Jr. is not on here because, like, we kind of feel that he was going to be really good in summer league. I try to pick some guys that weren't the big names, weren't like big name rookie, second year players and third years and stuff like that, but still played really good. Now they're all rookies on here. I did put rookies in here, but yeah, I didn't put like obvious guys. I tried to find little standouts here and there, but yeah, I just wanted to put that in so you're not like, where's Jabari Smith Jr., where's Jalen Duren, where's like, yeah, they're not gonna be in here. All right, so let's get started with the names. So starting with the Atlanta Hawks, we had Tyrese Martin. He's a second-year player out of UConn. He was a late second-round pick in last year's draft. In his rookie year, he didn't really get a whole lot of opportunity to play. Came into summer league and he had a pretty solid summer league. He averaged 13, 6, and 2 with the steal per game. He shot 44% from the field, 34% from 3, 77% from the free throw line. Just a really good kind of high IQ player that makes winning plays. He's a winning player that defensively you can get into it. He can play he can guard wings, forwards, and all this stuff like that. He's got the body. And on offense, he can do a little bit of everything. He can handle the ball. He can shoot the three. He can attack the rim. He can play make a little bit. He's a very solid player. He's a guy that I feel like could eventually pop up randomly in the Hawks rotation next season potentially. He had a very solid summer league. He had some good performances. He had a couple of 20-point games here and there, and yeah, willing to see maybe he can bring that into training camp. And yeah, like I said, I won't be surprised if he pops up. Maybe not early in the year, but maybe late in the year in the Hawks rotation because he could do a lot of different things. Next for the Celtics, we got Jordan Walsh, their second-round pick out of Arkansas. He really surprised me in summer league. He's a guy going through the draft process, looking at stuff. We already know his defense is a huge thing that stands out. He's got a lot of length. I don't know exactly what his wingspan is, but I won't be surprised if it is a 7 foot or 7'1" wingspan at like 6'6", 6'7". Still very young, very raw. Still needs a lot of development in the offensive end, but the defense is going to be there. But in summer league, his offense really showed up. He finished averaging 16, 4, an assist and a steal. He shot 42% from the field, 40% from 3, 79% from the free throw line. The first game especially, he hit like 4 threes in that game, and it was very surprising. Yeah, the three-point shot looked a lot more. He looked comfortable and confident in it, even though he wasn't projected to be a good three-point shooter this early. Even putting the ball on the floor, getting mid-range jumpers, he looked pretty confident in that too. Yeah, his offensive game just looked a lot more confident and comfortable than I thought it would be. And it is summer league. He's going up against not amazing competition, so maybe that was just because he's in summer league and he's just like, let me just try things out. But he looked very, very good in summer league. If he could bring some of that confidence into the training camp and the preseason, the regular season, he could be in the rotation in no time just because of his already really good defensive ability. Jordan Walsh really surprised me this year in summer league. For the Brooklyn Nets, I had Armani Brooks. Brooks, he's been around the league. He played a few years ago with the Houston Rockets. He hasn't really been on a team, though. I think last year he was on a team. He's been in the G League. He came to the Nets summer league team, and he played pretty good. He played himself into a contract. He actually, I think earlier today or late yesterday, he signed a two-way contract with the Nets. He played really good at summer league. Averaged just under 18 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. He shot 50% from the field, 47% from three, 87% from the free throw line. And those numbers are crazy because he's a sniper from three. His 3-point shot was on fire. 47%, and he was taking like maybe 7 or 8 a game. In Vegas, he was playing really, really good, and he worked himself into a 2-way contract. So that's great for him to try to keep his NBA dream alive, and let's see what he can do. He can be maybe another gem for the Nets that they find. He's just a shooter. Really, he's a sharp shooter. That's what he's gonna do. I wanted to put Jalen Wilson in here as well. He played really, really good. I want to mention him, but I think Armani Brooks really stole the show by, not even being on the radar and then taking a 2-way contract. Now for the Hornets, I have Brandon Miller. The Hornets was probably the toughest team to do because Brandon Miller did not have an amazing summer league, offensive wise, but no one for the Hornets did. Like all the other players I've thought of, they did not shoot well either and didn't have any good performances. So it's very tough for the Hornets to pick a player for them. Their summer league was very, very bad. So I ended up picking Brandon Miller. He averaged 17, 8, and 2, a steal and a block. He shot 35% from the field, 26% from 3, 80% from the free throw line. The numbers don't look great, especially the shooting numbers were very bad. He did have his final game in Vegas. He looked pretty good shooting the ball. But I also picked him because he was doing a lot of other things besides scoring. He was rebounding the ball pretty well in California and in Vegas. His passing ability, especially in California, was on display as well, and defensively started to lock in. It was just the shooting splits looked very bad, and he was not looking very good. Yeah, shooting the ball. They only had like one really good shooting game. But yeah, the Hornets as a team in summer league just did not look good. So it was very tough to pick. So I ended up picking up Brandon Miller. For the Bulls, Javon Freeman Liberty. It was an easy one. The Bulls didn't really have a lot of guys I was excited to see in summer league, but Javon Freeman Liberty played really, really well. He finished averaging 21 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game with a block, shooting 49% from the field, 46% from 3, and 77% from the free throw line. He made all summer league second team. Yeah, he played very, very well for a Bulls team that did not look that great, but he was really out there doing a lot. He was scoring the ball, he was rebounding, blocking shots. He was trying to create for his teammates. The shooting was there. He played hard, a lot of hustle, and yeah, maybe he could have got another 2-way contract or somewhere from the Bulls for somewhere else. I feel like he worked himself into that because he played very, very well. He was really surprised me at summer league, and yeah, he looks like he has potential to be a 2-way contract guy this upcoming season. Next for the Cavs, I have Sam Merrill. There's a lot of guys to pick for the Cavs. They went 6-0, won the Summer League championship. But I picked up Sam Merrill. He made all Summer League first team. He averaged 20 and 4 with 2 assists per game, shooting 45% from the field, 44% from 3, 88% from the free throw line. He was on fire from 3. Had a lot of big shooting games. Yeah, he was a sniper, really, throughout this entire Summer League. He was already on the Cavs. He's on a non-guaranteed, I think, 1-year contract for the Cavs, but maybe he might make the team now, depending if he can come into training camp and have that same confidence and same style that he's done so far in Summer League. If he just keeps shooting the ball, because the Cavs need a lot of shooting. So he could be a guy that potentially could make the team and a sneaky candidate. To get his contract guaranteed, make the team. But there's a lot of guys for Cleveland I could have picked. Isaiah Mobley was amazing. So was Amani Bates. But at the end, I picked Sam Merrill. Now for the Mavericks, I have Olivier Maxence Prosper. This was an interesting team to pick from because Jane Hardy did average 23 points per game. But I don't know. It was just kind of expected for me. Like, I was not surprised that Jane Hardy came in and took a lot of shots. The shooting numbers were not good either. He shot 38% from the field or something like that. Jane Hardy did. So I wasn't really surprised by Jane Hardy's summer league. But Olivier Maxence Prosper came in and played very well. Did what I thought he was going to do. He came in, he finished averaging 12 points, 5 rebounds, and assists. He shot 44% from the field, only 23% from 3, 82% from the free throw line. He was doing a lot of the things I think he could come in and contribute right away with, bringing a lot of energy on both sides, on offense, being in the right spots in the right time, going down in transition and scoring, rebounding the ball well. Defensively, he was there, being pretty solid. And, yeah, I think he's a guy that definitely could make the Mavericks rotation very, very early. He's a dude that I think the Mavericks kind of need, a wing that can play on both ends. And defense, he's got a lot of length, can guard a lot of different positions, be versatile there. And on offense, he's just going to bring a lot of energy. The 3-point shot didn't look great in Summer League, but I think that can be whole lot better. And yeah, just be out in transition, be in the right spots at the right time. And yeah, I really liked watching Olivier Maxence prosper in Summer League. I think he's going to be a really good player. For the Nuggets, I have Hunter Tyson. He made All Summer League first team as well. He played very, very well, averaging just under 21 points per game with 6 rebounds and assists. He shot 54% from the field, 50% from 3, and 87% from the free throw line. He was on fire entire Summer League. The first game of Summer League I watched, and he was on fire in like the second quarter. I was like, dang. And then I think his last Summer League game, he put up 31 points, and that kind of sealed his All Summer League first team. Yeah, he was on fire. He was an early second round pick out of Clemson for the Nuggets, and yeah, he's just a stretch four. He's a stretch four that could bring a lot of energy, and he was doing that the entire Summer League, hitting threes, hitting sidestep threes. Also not being afraid to attack the basket as well and rebounding the ball. And if he's shooting the ball like this, he can easily get into the Nuggets rotation because who doesn't want another big 6'8", 6'9" guy that can shoot the three? For the Pistons, I had Asar Thompson. There's a lot of candidates for the Pistons, but again, all those guys were second or third year players like Jalen Duren, Jane Ivey, and they only played 2 games, so I didn't really want to pick them. So for the Pistons, Asar Thompson. He played a very good winning basketball in Vegas, and he showed why he was a top pick. He finished averaging 13.5 points, 10 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 2 steals, and just under 2 blocks. He shot 46% from the field, 27% from 3, 64% from the free throw line. He was just doing everything, even though he wasn't really getting a lot of touches. And it wasn't like he was getting the ball and just going one-on-one all the time, stuff like that. But he was just making the little plays, making cuts, and running in transition to get easy shots. Getting to the rim, getting easy shots. Wasn't afraid to shoot the ball. Rebounding very well. He was making good passes to his teammates. Defensively, he was all over the place. He was just doing a little bit of everything, and I think if he could keep doing that, he could be a really good player for the Pistons very, very soon. He's got a lot of potential, obviously. And even though he didn't really come into Summer League and just go off and put up 25, 30 points and stuff, he was doing the right thing, just making all the right plays, just because he's a really good basketball player. So I think that was really nice to see for him and for the Pistons. For the Warriors, I have Lester Quinones. He was going off in California, came into Vegas, and did the same thing. Even though the shooting numbers kind of fell off, he still played pretty well. He finished averaging 21 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists per game with a steal. He shot only 37% from the field and 26% from 3, 82% from the free throw line. A lot of these stats are only on Vegas stats, but in the California Classic, he played very well. And he looked like a second-year player. He technically is a third-year player. He played in the G League last year, and he played like 4 games with the Warriors at the end of the season. But he came into Summer League, and he looked like he's probably battling for a roster spot. Right now, he's not on the roster. The Warriors have his rights still. He's a restricted free agent. But I think the Warriors should pick him up, man. I mean, he's a guy that can be instant offense. He's not afraid. He can shoot the 3 ball pretty well. He gets to the rim and score, not afraid to attack the basket, but also not just being a ball hog. He also, at the end, started finding his teammates and making plays for others as well. So I think if the shooting gets back to what it was in California with the California Classic, he could definitely make a roster spot for the Warriors. I think he definitely can. He showed a lot in Summer League. For the Rockets, I had to put Cam Whitmore on here. He won Summer League MVP. Jabari Smith Jr. was amazing, and so was Tari Eason throughout the first 2 games. But then again, their second-year players are kind of expected to do this, and they only played 2 games. But Cam Whitmore played really well. When the spotlight turned to him, he had some big games. Finished averaging 19, 5, and 2 with 2.5 steals. He shot 44% from the field, 28% from 3, 62% from the free throw line. He was a steal for the Rockets at the 20th pick. I think we all knew that. He came into Summer League with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and he played like it. His offense was really, really good. The 3 ball was hidden. He was attacking the rim and getting easy layups, easy dunks, exploding to the rim. Defensively, he was in the passing lanes all over the place. He had an 8-steal game in Summer League. Yeah, he just looked super comfortable. And made Summer League look super easy for him. And I can't wait to see what his role would be like in his rookie year with the Rockets, with a bunch of young talent they have, and how he can develop in that system. For the Pacers, I had Jarace Walker. They had guys like Benedict Mathurin, Andrew Nembhard, Isaiah Jackson, but they're all second and third year players. They're kind of expected to do this. Jarace Walker, he came in, and I was really impressed by his performance, even though he did not shoot well. He averaged 14, 7, and 3 with a steal and a block. He shot 34% from the field, 18% from 3, and 44% from the free throw line. The shooting was not there. He was not shooting the ball, But the thing I loved about his summer league performances is that he has so many other things to fall back on that even if the shot isn't falling, he can impact the game in so many ways. He's just that type of player. He's a dude. He's a dude that doesn't need to put up 25 points for his impact to be felt. He does so many other things on the court. He can rebound the ball well. Defensively, he's going to be all over the place in the interior and the perimeter. He had a bunch of huge blocks and good steals. He's a really solid passer as well. Really good basketball IQ. Yeah, he's just a very good all-around basketball player. And so I loved the summer league performance because even though he wasn't shooting the lights out, it didn't put up any crazy performances scoring the ball wise. He made his impact felt in so many other ways. I think the Pacers got a really good player, Andreas Walker. I think he can come in right away and make an impact for Indiana. For the Clippers, I had Xavier Moon. He was, I think, the last 2 seasons for the Clippers. He's been a guy that's been signed at the end of the season in the last few games just to show something because he was on their G League team. He came into Summer League and he played very well. He averaged over 19.5 points with 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. And he was shooting the lights out. Shot 55% from the field and 57% from 3, 91% from the free throw line. He had some huge games scoring the ball and passing the ball as well. Yeah, he just looked really comfortable out there in Summer League. He's an older player. He's not a rookie or second-year guy. He's been around a little bit. Not really on an NBA team besides the Clippers the last 2 seasons, but he's only playing like maybe 7 or 8 games or something like that. But he played very well. The Clippers, I don't know if they have they don't have a two-way. They do have a two-way spot open, but they also have a lot of players on the roster. So I don't know if he's gonna make the roster. He'll probably be kind of back to the G League and stuff. But I think some teams should take a look at him. I think he's a guard that could do a lot of things on offensive end. He could score the ball. He could shoot the 3 ball. He's not afraid to go get his own, but also making plays for others and making the right pass when he needs to and creating for others. So I think that's really good. And then defensively, he was all over the place as well. So I think he had an amazing summer league showing, and I think maybe he can get a 2-way contract from somewhere. For the Lakers, I had Max Christie. I tried not to put second-year players on here, but Max Christie I feel like just played really, really well. He averaged 19, 6, and 3 with 2 blocks, shooting 45% from the field, 50% from 3, 100% from the free throw line. He looked a lot better in his second season. He got a lot bigger, just looked a lot more comfortable. Looked like a second-year player out there. Made it look easy. You know, get into a spot when he needed to and knocking down shots. He knocked down the 3 ball well. Defensively, he was really good as well. Yeah, he just looked good, and I think he's going to be in the rotation for the Lakers next season. I think he's a great player to have in the rotation. Young guy that can shoot the 3 ball well, or could also go get a bucket if you need him to. And then defensively, he's going to be there and going to bring it as well. He improved a lot throughout the season on the defensive end. So, yeah, I think he's going to be a guy that can be in the rotation for the Lakers next season. I think the Summer League showed it. For the Grizzlies, I had Kenny Lofton Jr. He's a guy. He's really good when it comes to Summer League. Last year in his rookie year in Summer League, he had some big moments, and this year he did it again. Summer League, Kenny Lofton Jr. is a franchise cornerstone. I hope you know that. He finished averaging 18 and 6 with assists, 2 steals, and a block. He shot 51% from the field, 46% from 3, 66% from the free throw line. And I'm intrigued to see how the Grizzlies use him next season. If he actually becomes a player in the rotation or he stays in the G League for a little while. Last year he won G League Rookie of the Year. He made did he make all G League first team? I don't know. But he was tearing up in the G League last year. And then last year, the last game of the season, he played the entire game, put up 42 points. And then coming into Summer League, he played very well. So I'm very intrigued to see how the Grizzlies look at him for the future. And if he actually becomes a rotational piece next season somewhere down the line. I don't know. But I think he's a really good player. You know, he's a very unique player, unique skill set with a unique size. So, yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how the Grizzlies use him for the upcoming season and for the future. For the Heat, I had Orlando Robinson. I was going to put Jaime Jaquez, but he only played like 1.5 game, really, in Summer League. He played the first game in California, didn't play in Vegas because of the shoulder injury, which really sucks. But Orlando Robinson, I feel like was too easy to pass up on. He made all Summer League first team. He finished averaging just under 26 points and 9 rebounds with 3 assists and 1.5 steals. He shot 57% for the field, 35% from 3, and 82% for the free throw line. He just looked really good. He looked too good out there. He had some big performances. He was scoring inside, but not just giving the ball down low and scoring. He was bringing the ball up the court. He was hitting threes. He was in the passing lanes. He was passing the ball well. He was just doing a lot of different things. You know, Orlando Robinson, when he did get an opportunity to play with Miami last year, he played pretty well. So, yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how the Heat use him in this upcoming season because he's a center that could do a lot of different things. Not besides just rebound and hit layups. Like he can actually stretch the floor a little bit and do a little bit of different stuff. I don't know if he's going to be asked to do that in Miami when he plays next season, if he does get into the rotation and something like that. But I think he had a very good summer league and showed a lot of his skills off. For the Bucks, I had Marjan Bogdanovic. He came in, didn't have a crazy summer league, but no one on the Bucks really did. But he played pretty well. He averaged 13, 4, and 2. Shot 42% from the field, 26% from 3, 66% from the free throw line. He has some big moments though. He has some good games, some good moments. And I'm intrigued to see. I think he should make the Bucks rotation next season. I think he's a guy that can fit really good in the Bucks system. He can shoot the three ball well, and he can defend. That's all the Bucks really need are guys that can shoot the three and defend the wing. And Marjan Bogdanovic can do that. He showed that in this Vegas summer league. He could do that while also doing a little bit more of handling the ball and trying to go get his own. But I think in Milwaukee on the regular season, he's going to be asked to do a little bit less role, so I think he's going to look a lot better. I think he should be in the Bucks rotation next season. I think he could be a guy that can really impact this team and could be a guy that can fit in this system. For the Wolves, I had Leonard Miller. I almost said Brandon Miller again. Leonard Miller. He was a second-round pick, which was very surprising to me. I thought he was going to be a first-round guy. But the Timberwolves traded for him to get him in the second round. And he had a very good summer league. I really like watching him in Vegas. He finished averaging 15, 8, and assists and a steal. He shot 44% from the field, 36% from 3, and 85% from the free throw line. He's got a very unique game. He's a kind of a forward that could play both forward positions, but also maybe could be a center. I don't know yet. Maybe somewhere down the line he could be. But he could score in the paint. He can shoot the three. But he also is a ball handler, that can handle the ball. He can get a lot of steals. He runs really good in transition as well. And he showed a lot of that skill set. And also hustle and heart. He showed a lot of that throughout Summer League as well. That's why I like watching him. He was a guy diving for loose balls and saving the ball from going out of bounds and trying to get that extra rebound or extra possession for his team. And, yeah, I think he's going to be a very good player for Minnesota. I think Minnesota got a very good pick early in the second round. I don't know if he's going to contribute right away for Minnesota, but I think just his hustle and him running the court and having the skills he has, I think Minnesota is gonna really try to push for him to get out there early, just to see what they got in him. I think he's gonna take a little bit more time to develop. He definitely still has a lot of things he needs to work better on, and he's still a little bit raw. But I think down the line, he's gonna be a really good pickup for Minnesota. For the Pelicans, I had Darion Spellman. He's on a 2-way contract for New Orleans, and he had a pretty solid summer league showing. Finished averaging 17, 6, and 3 with a steal. He shot 57% from the field, only 18% from 3, and 68% from the free throw line. He's a guard that is more downhill, attack you type of guard. He's not a dude that's going to step behind the three-point line and shoot 9, 10 threes. He's more of a, give me the ball, let me just attack the basket and get to the free throw line type of guard. And he was doing that for a lot of summer league. He especially had one game against the Warriors where I forgot how much he had, but he had a really good big game, had a lot of big and ones as well. I don't know if he's going to really play for New Orleans, but I think he had a very solid summer league showing. He showed his athletic ability. He showed that he can attack the rim and score, not afraid to get in there amongst the trees, but also being a solid passer as well, and shot efficiently from the field as well. For the Knicks, I had Charlie Brown Jr. It was very tough for the Knicks because they didn't have any rookies or stuff that I was really dying to see. But I think Charlie Brown Jr. had a solid summer league for them. He's been a guy that's been around the league for a little while. He's been around probably, I want to say, like 3 or 4 years, maybe a little more than that. He's been with the Hawks. He's been with the Thunder. He's been in the G League for a lot of it. But he had a very solid summer league. He finished averaging just under 20 points per game with 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. He shot 54% from the field, 37% from 3, and 80% from the free throw line. He's a dude he's a wing player that can do it on both ends. He can score the ball on the offense end, can handle the ball a little bit, can shoot the 3 ball, but also attack the rim and score. On defense, he's going to be very solid, and he's a guy that's been around the league a little bit. He has some familiarity with a bunch of different teams, so I don't know if he's going to get a contract. Maybe he could get another 2-way contract, but he's probably most likely going to be in the G League again. But I think he had a very solid summer league showing, but also, again, the Knicks, didn't have any top guys I really was dying to see. For the Thunder, I picked Jared Butler. Chet Holmgren only played really 2 games in Vegas, and those 2 games is really good. But I think after we saw what he did in Salt Lake City, I think we can kind of tell that he was going to be good. But I think Jared Butler played very, really well. I was watching the Thunder because, I really wanted to watch the Thunder in summer league because they had a lot of young talent, obviously. But I think Jared Butler really stole the show over there. He finished averaging 20 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. He shot 50% from the field, 48% from three, and just under 90% from the free throw line. He was shooting that thing. He was shooting the thing as soon as he got the ball. He was chucking threes, and he was making all of them. He made a lot of them. He has a lot of big shooting performances. I think last year at the end of the season, he got on a 2-way contract with the Thunder and played pretty well. He was on that Baylor championship team. Just a very solid guard. That can shoot the 3 ball, but also can handle the ball and find his teammates. And then defensively, he's gonna bring it as well. So I think maybe the Thunder might re-sign him to a 2-way contract. I don't know. The Thunder have a lot of players on their roster right now, so they kind of have to start cutting some people down. So I don't know if they're ready to bring on Jared Butler yet. But I think he had a really good enough summer league showing where he potentially could get a 2-way contract from somewhere else. For the Magic, I had Anthony Black. Now, this is very similar to what I said about Jarace Walker, where he didn't have an amazing shooting performance, but he's a guy that doesn't need to score a lot to have the game to have impact on the game. He's another one of those guys where he's just a really good basketball player overall. Finished averaging 11, 8, and 4 with 2 steals. He shot 40% from the field, just 16% from 3, and 54% from the free throw line. But he was doing a lot of other things I liked. He was rebounding the ball very well. He's a really big guard, so he gets in there and rebounds well. But also his passes were really good. Made a lot of high IQ passes, a lot of just the right passes. And then defensively, he got there and got a lot of steals as well. So, he wasn't scoring the ball well. He didn't shoot the 3 ball very well either. But he was just doing so many other things that impacted the game well that I think he's going to be a really good player for Orlando coming up this rookie season. And for his career, I think he's just going to be a really good player because he's just a high IQ guy that even when he's not scoring, he knows how to make the right play and how to make impact on the game. For the 76ers, I had James Springer coming into his 3rd season. He hasn't really gotten a lot of chance to actually play with the 76ers. He's been more in the G League. Last year, I think he won G League Finals MVP. And he came to Summer League in Salt Lake City. He did not play that well. He didn't shoot well, but he came to Vegas and showed off a lot. He finished averaging 22, 3, and 2 with 2 steals and a block. He shot 48% from the field, 31% from 3, 78% from the free throw line. In Salt Lake City, he was not shooting the ball very well. He came to Vegas and shot a lot better. He's a very athletic. We see he's a guy that can get to the rim and score. The 3-point shot still isn't a lot of development, but his athletic ability is very good getting to the rim, obviously. Also defensively, he was hounding out there. He was doing a lot of different things. He was getting a lot of steals, blocking shots. He's a dog out there. He's a dog. And I don't know if he's going to really get into the 76er rotation this season. I don't know. We don't know what the direction the 76ers are going in, by the way. If you didn't watch that video yesterday about the Sixers, I talked about them. Go watch that. I don't know. But I think he's very experienced so far, and he's going to be very solid when he does get into the games. If he does for the 76ers next year, I think he'll have a lot of confidence. I think he'll show some things. Definitely still needs to work on that jump shot, though. For the Suns, I have Toumani Camara, their 2nd-round pick out of Dayton. Came in, had a very solid summer league. He finished averaging 16, 7, and 2. He shot 45% from the field, 21% from 3, and 71% from the free throw line. He's the guy that the Suns signed right away. I thought he was going to get a 2-way contract, but he got a regular contract from the Suns. And he played very well. He has a very solid skill set for a power forward. He can do a lot of different things. He can score the ball inside. He can handle the ball as well, make really nice passes. He can rebound. He can defend pretty solidly. And the 3-point shot, even though it wasn't there in Summer League, he's got a very solid 3-point shot. And I think he showed that with the Suns. He showed that he's a very unique player. Guy that can come in right away, potentially maybe impact the game. I don't know. He probably won't get a lot of minutes to start the season, but maybe throughout the season goes on, if he can show some things in the G League and stuff, maybe he can get a call up and play. But I think he was a very solid pick for the Suns. Kind of a forward that they don't really have. A guy that can, doesn't need to score the ball a whole lot. He can make a lot of plays for others. For the Blazers, I had Michael Devoe. Scoot Henderson only played like 20 minutes. But in those 20 minutes, he was dominant, though. And Shane Sharp, I kind of expected him to come out and have some big performances. But Michael Devoe really played well, especially in that one game with the Blazers and Spurs on ESPN where he stole the show. But he finished averaging 18, 3, and 4 with a steal. He shot 53% from the field, 64% from 3, 58% from the free throw line. Yeah, he might have gotten himself a 2-way contract from somewhere. depending on different teams and stuff. But I think he played very well. He had that big game where he dropped 30 on ESPN against Wemby. He was very aggressive, being very aggressive. Not afraid to take it to the rack and score. The 3-point shot started falling a little bit as well. He was playmaking for others. He played very well, and he might have just got himself a 2-way contract. I think he looked very aggressive, and he looked like a decent NBA player out there, honestly. Like, I feel like he should get a contract from somewhere, a 2-way contract, because he really impressed. For the Kings, they had Jordan Ford. Keegan obviously went off in California. He didn't play in Vegas. And Jordan Ford played very well for the Kings. He finished averaging 16, 2, and 5 with the steal. He shot 49% from the field, 31% from 3, and 75% from the free throw line. In California, he was playing very well, but he was more of a playmaker, passer. But once Keegan left and they went to Vegas, he started kind of looking for a shot a little bit more, and it was going in. He had a lot of pretty good performances, and he's a guy that I could see getting a 2-way contract from maybe the Kings from somewhere else and making an impact. He's just a very solid, high IQ point guard that can go get his own, can get to the rim and score, but also can hit the 3 and score. But also he's going to make plays for others. He's not going to just attack. He's going to make plays for others and create for others. I think he's just a very solid, high IQ point guard. And so while I was watching him, I was like, yeah, I could see him being a guy that can get a 2-way contract, and potentially if injuries happen and stuff, he can get in there and he could be just fine in the league. For the Spurs, I had Dominic Barlow. Champagne went off in California, but in Vegas he kind of slowed down a little bit, especially at the end. And then Vic obviously had his 2 games where he looked pretty solid. But I think Dominic Barlow really stood out for San Antonio. He was on a 2-way contract last season. Still is out in restricted free agency. So I don't know if the Spurs are gonna renew his 2-way contract, but I think they should after what I saw from him in summer league. Finished averaging 17, 8, and 2 with a block shot, 62% from the field and 53% from the free throw line. He's a power forward that does a lot of different things. He can score down low inside. Not really a shooter yet, but he scores down low inside. He rebounded the ball very well. He's making some really nice passes. Very good athletic ability. Defensively, he's pretty solid as well. So I think the Spurs should take him back. And he's still young, too. I think he's still like only 19 or 20, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, he's got a lot of interesting skills I think the Spurs could take and could use. And I think he really showed himself in Summer League. I think the Spurs in general showed themselves in Summer League. And as a lot of their guys really stepped up. For the Raptors, I had Grady Dick. This was very tough because the Raptors did not have an amazing Summer League showing. But I think Grady Dick played pretty solid, especially in his final game or two. Finished averaging 16, 6, and 2 with 1.5 steals. He shot 40% from the field, only 29% from 3, 89% from the free throw line. We know him as a 3-point shooter. The 3-point shot wasn't really falling too well, but he was doing a lot of different things. He was scoring from other ways, getting to the mid-range area, not being afraid to get to the rim and score as well, but also rebounding, and also finding his teammates as well. It wasn't just sitting behind the 3-point line shooting the ball. He was doing a lot of other things when the 3-point shot wasn't falling. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see how he comes into his rookie season and plays for the Raptors. I think he's a dude that could really help their team that doesn't have a lot of 3-point shooting or threats from 3, and he's a threat. He could be a threat from 3, For the Jazz, I had Keontae George. He unfortunately hurt his ankle, so he could not play the entire Summer League. When he did play, he was on it. In Salt Lake City, he was good. Then he got to Vegas and got even better. He finished averaging 21, 2, and 6 with 1 steal. He shot 52% from the field, 44% from 3, 63% from the free throw line. I think he made All-Summer League first team. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like he did make All-Summer League first team. And, yeah, he was really, really good. He was one of the highlights of Summer League, to watch Summer League. He was getting buckets like he does, getting buckets from everywhere, from the rim, from the mid-range, from the 3-point shot. But also the thing was he was playmaking as well. He had a nice 10-assist game. He wasn't just give me the ball and let me go get buckets. He was showing that he could be a combo guard as well, which is what he was. A little bit of Baylor, even though he's more of a shooter. But I think with his size and with the Jazz lack of kind of point guard play, he was kind of trying to show like, hey, I could be a point guard too for this team. And he was doing very, very well. And I think he's going to be a really good pickup for the Jazz. A dude that can go get his own, but also be a playmaker. And I think if things turn out right, man, he could be something very special for Utah. But yeah, I really loved watching him in Summer League. And then finally for the Wizards, Johnny Davis. The Wizards were very interesting to watch in Summer League. They had a lot of guys I was really looking forward to watching. And Johnny Davis, I think, played pretty solid. He did not have a good rookie season. Coming into his second summer league, he needed to show something, or else people were really gonna get on him. And he showed something. Finished averaging 16, 4, and 2 with 1.5 steals. He shot 41% from the field, 43% from three, 83% from the free throw line. He started off like his first game wasn't really great, but then as it went on, he got a lot better, a lot more comfortable, taking matters into his own hands, scoring from the rim, but also shooting the three ball. I think in the first game I watched, he had a couple open threes, but he just didn't take them. Instead, drove to the lane and with two people on him, and then he started taking the threes. As summer league went on, he started making them. And I think he's gonna have a lot more opportunity to show himself this upcoming season with the Wizards. Now with Bradley Beal and Porzingis gone, and hopefully he shows a lot of improvement. Maybe he just needed 1 year to kind of adapt to the NBA, adapt to the speed and a lot of stuff, and maybe next year comes out and plays very well. Hopefully he does. And yeah, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. We have said a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.